All right, guys, here we go. All right, when they join us, that'll be fine. Number one, all right, some of you guys, this was old, so I can understand you forgetting some of it. All right, so let's go ahead and just make sure everybody is good. Now, number one, they're specifically asking for BD. So remember, these are just proportions. Some of you assumed they were 30, 60, 90. You cannot do that. This special case, remember, when you have a right triangle and the altitude or the height is drawn from the 90 degree to the hypotenuse, it creates three similar triangles. All right. So in this case, remember, I tried to show you this is considered the small leg. This is considered the what? The large leg. All right. So now I just put 6 over x. So this was small to large. Then I look at the other triangle. This is the large. What?
Can you scroll down?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what's up with mine. All right. So now I have 12 is the large, but x is now the what? Is the small. All right. So in this case, we would want x on the top, and we want 12 on the bottom. Now, again, I'm always trying to review with you for your upcoming entrance exams to your private schools that you want, and square roots are one of them. All right. So I don't want you using a calculator. All right. If you can do it without a calculator, that's fine. So we know that x squared is 6 times 12. Now, I don't really think it's necessary to multiply 6 times 12, even though we know it's 72. I want you to know when you take the square root, there is a common what here? 6. There is a common 3, yes, there is a common 3. But we're always trying to find the largest common factor. And the largest common factor is what? 6. So that's how it was easy for me to get 6 radical 2. Of course, if you did the square root of 72, 72 breaks down to 36 times 2, and then you same answer, correct? It's just, to me, easier when you have the numbers already broken down to some degree. All right, now number 2, I think, is a really great review problem because it makes you find everything. All right, now keep in mind that this is the Pythagorean theorem also can be involved. All right, so for sure I can find x, right? So that's short leg, long leg again. So we could say 8 over x is equal to x over 23. Do you agree with that? So now we have x squared equals 8 times 23. And when I take the square root, this is what I'm trying to convince you. 8 has a what in there? 4, right? So because 8 has a 4 in there, it's just 2 radical 46. Now, if you're unsure about that, you can let me know. That's important. Anybody have any issues? I know it's been a long time, so, all right, speak up. All right, welcome, Zayden. Sorry, we just got started a little bit early. I recorded the class, so if you missed something, you can go back.
Okay, thank you.
Now that we have x that we know is 2 radical 46, we could find z simply by doing a squared plus b squared equals c squared, correct? Right? I personally just like doing that because I don't feel like setting up a proportion, right? It's not to say you can't, that's just how I do it. So if we find z, does everybody agree z is the hypotenuse, right? So now I have z squared equals 2 radical 46 squared plus 23 squared. Does everybody agree with that? Right? Now, again, I'm going to try to show you some math here. So please pay attention so I can show you something. If I square 2 radical 46, does everybody agree I get 4 times 46, right? And then I'm not really multiplying 23 times 23. Come on now, I need you to pay attention on this because I want you to be good with numbers. Does everybody agree 23 squared is just 23 times 23? Now, why did I not multiply them together? Can anybody tell me? Yes, 46 has a common 23. So now watch me. 4 times 2 times 23 plus 23 times 23. Now, some of you are like, I don't care about that. Just use your calculator then. I don't care. All right. I'm just trying to show you how people can manipulate numbers. All right. So it makes it easier. Now, does everybody see a common 23? Right. So now that's 23. I don't really think that's going to help me though. I just realized something. 23 is not a perfect square. All right. So yep, after all that, I kind of messed that up. All right. I don't think it will matter because all of this is under what? The square root. So big deal. That's 23 times 8 plus 23, which really doesn't help me any. Does everybody see how that's 8 plus 23? Yeah, so then it's just 23 times 31, square root of that. So did that help me at all? No. For some reason in my brain, I had 23 as a perfect square. I'd be able to pull it out. So that didn't really help me, correct? Is everybody good with that? So now you have to tell me, after all that, what's 23 times 31? 690. What is it? 7. Did anybody else get 713? All right. So Z was square root of 713. Sorry. I thought there was something in there, but there wasn't. All right. Now, does everybody see you could use the big triangle if you wanted to find Y, right? And so if I use the big triangle, it would be Y squared plus the square root of 713 squared equals 31 squared. Is everybody good with that? Any issues? I don't feel like doing that right now. We got bigger fish to fry. Everybody can do A squared plus B squared equals C squared unless somebody wants me to help them with that. So somebody tell me what Y is. Square root of, 2 radical 62. Thank you. All right, 2 radical 62. All right, moving forward, unless you speak up. All right, now number 3 was kind of easy because this is an isosceles triangle, right? So that means this is equal to this, right? So this is 9, right? So this is just 9 squared plus x squared equals 19 squared. Is everybody happy with that? So somebody tell me x is the square root of what? 2 radical 77? 2 radical 70. All right, now listen, your job, please, I don't mind. All right, but I just feel like, I teach that in pre-algebra. Not breaking down the radicals, but Pythagorean theorem. Everybody good with that? Any issues? You guys have to know the radicals now. All right. So over here, this is obviously a triple, which I've preached to you over and over. 5, 12, 13. So at the top of your paper here, 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, 8, 15, 17, 7, 24, 25. Those are critical. Those can help you out a lot if you remember those. All right. And the more you write them, I just write them all the time. All right. Then it kind of gets into your brain. You can kind of see them quickly. All right. Moving forward, unless someone has a question. All right. Please speak up. Okay. I don't want to just give you answers. All right. If you're having trouble, we got to fix it. All right. So obviously 45, 45, 90. Now, I really want you to know the 30, 60, 90 and the 45, 45, 90. But let's say on the test you forget and you give me the decimal answer, I'm just going to know you forgot the rules, correct? That's the beauty of the trig. You can solve this using trig. All right. But I prefer that you're able to look at that and just say y is what? Y is 15. Right? Because of the rules. 45, 45, 90. From 45 to 90, you multiply by radical 2. From 90 to 45, divide by radical 2. If you forgot that, that's a good note right there. From 45 to 90, multiply by radical 2. 90 to 45, divide by radical 2. The 90-degree angle, the hypotenuse to the leg.
Oh.
Right? Hypotenuse to leg. That's what I mean by the 90 and the 45. Right? All right, here we go. Now we have a 30, 60, 90. So let's review those. Opposite of the 30 is always half the hypotenuse. So you should be able to say AB is 25. Then opposite the 60 is just the 30 times radical 3. So that should be what? Yeah, 25 radical 3. Does anybody need me to review those notes? Anybody have any issues? All right, and I'm going to assume, right, if you forget the rules, we can just set up what? This X with this 60 and this 50. So that would be sine of 60 is equal to X over 50. So X is equal to 50 sine 60. And that will give you the decimal. Now, several of you said, I tried to convert it to a fraction. Is a square root a fraction? No, remember what I'm saying. They're going to call that rational and irrational. Rational, you cannot, or you can write as a fraction. Irrational, you cannot write as a fraction. So your calculator tried to write it as a fraction and realized it could not. All right. So anytime you have a square root and you can't get it to a fraction, that meant it was an irrational number. All right. That's good information right there, guys. All right. So if you write the decimal approximation, I'm just going to assume you forgot how to do the 30, 60, 90 rules. All right. But it's better to get it right than just leave it blank. All right. Now we get into the trig, right? So I don't want to waste any time. So now you have to be honest with yourself. All right. Do you know how to do it or not? All right. So somebody tell me the answer to 7 is X equals 0.140, I hear. 410. Yeah, I know, but we do 3 decimal places. And do I really care? No, I don't really care. But in math, you'll learn 3 decimal places. All right, we're moving on. Find the measure of elevation of the sun when the pole 25 feet tall casts a 42-foot shadow. So just to make sure, here's a pole, and this is the shadow that it makes. The pole is 25 feet tall, and it casts a shadow 42. And so this is our angle of elevation. So that's just the tangent of X is equal to 25 over 42. So X, the angle of elevation, is approximately what? 7.6. And then you would say degrees. And of course, you would tell me if you don't know what I'm saying. Any issues? Any issues? All right, I'm feeling pretty good. Which is the angle of depression? Of course, you would draw this is the angle of depression. A lot of people mistake this as the angle of depression. The angle of depression is equal to the angle of elevation. All right, that's how I remember it. All right, those two things are equal because they're alternate interior angles. All right, now, is this a right triangle? It doesn't say, right? So we just assume that it's not. So we're going to draw it out real quick. And we're going to write X, Y, Z. And X is 49. Side X is 12, 36, and Y. All right, which is nice because this is law of sine. So now we just have sine of 49 over 12 equals sine of 36 over Y. And then, of course, you guys are masters of cross multiplying and dividing. So everybody should be able to tell me Y is 9.80. 8 oh. 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 9 what? 9.346. Now let's just, again, if you didn't get that decimal and you got 9.4, I don't really care, but everybody should get the same. So everybody do 12 sine 36 divided by sine 49 just to practice and make sure your calculator's set properly. What did you get? 9.346. Everybody happy? All right. Bo, you good?
No.
I don't know why that's so big.
I did that.
Hold on.
I have it on.
Okay, my homeschool peeps doing okay? Everything's good? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure. I been having trouble recently. Okay. So now, number 11, same thing. I would just draw out my triangle. Right? A, B, C. A is 12. B is 8. Angle A is 40. And we're trying to figure out angle B, right? So then we just say sine of 40 over 12 equals sine of B over 8. And of course, we would have sine of B is equal to 8 sine 40 over 12, correct? And then we do inverse sine. So angle B is approximately degrees. Come on, guys. I think this is formula-based, most of it formula-based. Everybody should be happy with formula-based. No proofs, just knowing formulas. Right? Plugging them in. Plug and chug. That's what we used to call it. Easy. Plug numbers in. All right, here we go. Find the length of the third side of a triangular plot if two sides and the included angle. If you have two sides and included angle, does it matter how you set it up? No. Well, if when you set, try that again. Okay, so now we have 8, 12, and the included angle is 50. There's only one triangle that can be drawn if you draw that. All right. Now we want the measure of the third side. So that's x. So now we're just doing law of cosine because it's side angle side. So here we go. X squared equals 8 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 8 times 12 times cosine of 50. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. Now, when you do that, don't forget that equals what? X squared. All right, so when we type that in, can anybody tell me what that number was? How much? 84 point. Thank you, Ben. And so then X is roughly. You can't do sine. That's completely wrong. And I will show no mercy. Well, it doesn't matter. It could be a coincidence, right? I'm just saying side, angle, side. The included angle means between the two sides. It has to be set up like that. All right, and it's completely possible this angle up on the top could have been 50 degrees also. You with me? All right, so. Well, it's time for a new calculator. All right. Now, again, generally, it's you're not typing in correctly. So just double check your notes now and make sure you're seeing that. All right. 8 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 8 times 12 cosine 50. Remember, the calculator does order of operation, so you just type it straight in. You with me now? All right, here we go. 13. Let's knock this out real quick. So triangle DEF. Here we go. DEF. D is 20. E is 25. F is 30. And we're looking for angle F. All right. So now 30 squared equals 20 squared plus 25 squared minus 2 times 20 times 25 times the cosine of F. All right, now this is where I told you got to be smart. All right, so you're doing 30 squared minus 20 squared minus 25 squared. Then you must hit the equal sign or enter. And then you divide it by parentheses, -2 times 20 times 25. So that came out to be cosine of F is roughly, what decimal was it? What was it? Point what? No, I want the decimal. Yes, 0.125. Thank you. All right, which means angle F was roughly, yes, go. You work backwards. You ready? Come on now, this is easy for you. Ready? Now pay attention. 30 squared minus 20 squared minus 25 squared. See, I'm trying to get to F, right? So I got to get rid of all the garbage. So I got to get rid of the 20 and the 25. Now these are all attached with multiplication, so then I have to divide that quantity. You with me now, right? Easy. Double check now. Make sure, guys, it's not going to be a miracle tomorrow on your test. It's the same problems. All right? Same. Nothing different. All right? You got to know how to use your calculator. And you got to know the formulas, or it's going to be a disaster. All right, here we go. Triangle ABC. So let's draw this out. ABC. Find A. If B is 2, C is 6, and measure of angle A is 35. So again, that's just practicing law of cosines, right? So A squared equals 2 squared plus 6 squared minus 2 times 6 times cosine 35. So everybody can do that now. I don't care about it. A is roughly, somebody tell me. Something like that, right? Any issues? All right, happy. Here we go. Triangle ABC again. Let's draw another one. A, B, C, angle A is 42, angle C is 56. Now don't forget, if they give you two angles, do we know the third? Yeah, so that's 98, right? So the other one was 82. I probably don't even need that, but I always like to remind myself, they give me two angles, I can throw in the third one. Now side A is what? 12. So I want to find C, right? So I really didn't need the other one. So now it's just what? Sine of 42 over 12 equals sine of 56 over C. And because you are brilliant at proportions, C is roughly, help me. Somebody said 14.868. Everybody happy with that? What?
When do you know when you go on?
Okay, I said this again. Ready? One more time. Pay attention. Whenever you have a side and the opposite angle known, it's automatically law of sines. All right, now if you notice when I did law of cosine, there's no angle that's known with a side. Therefore, it has to be what? Law of cosine. Now, what I made a brief note, side, 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 side angle, side. That's the law of cosine. Everything else is law of sine. You with me now? All right, good. But as I tell kids, if you try one formula and it doesn't work, then that means you messed it up. You got to try something else. All right, here we go. Again, let's draw it out. Triangle ABC here. And then A, B, C. So side A is 50, B is 48, angle C is 40, and we want measure of angle. Uh-oh.
I don't know, it's not
Supposed
flat.
to put
Did I mess that up?
the 40 is supposed to on the side.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought it was an angle. 40, thank you. Here, we want angle A. So now you have to remember the 50 and the A go on the outside of the formula, right? So now it's just 50 squared equals 40 squared plus 48 squared minus 2 times 40 times 48 times cosine of A. Here we go. 50 squared minus 40 squared minus 48 squared equals divided by negative 2 times 40 times 48. But remember, put that in parentheses. So because we've done that several times, I want someone to tell me angle A is roughly what degrees? All right, 68.554 degrees. If you don't know, you can ask. Brady, you're good now, right? Oh, not Brady.
Yeah.
You got it? All right, here we go. Why is this one different?
It's just side now.
Yeah, it's all not all that other stuff, right? It's a right triangle. It's a right triangle. Can we do law of sines with this though? Yeah, the answer is yes, actually. Right, you could set this up as what? That's one way you can do it. I prefer that you don't do that because I want you to just be able to say, well, that's just the cosine of 41 is equal to x over 32. You get the same answer. Yes, of course. The math is sound. X equals 32 cosine 41. All right, everybody good with that? And you can do like he said. I like what someone said. Sine of 49 over x equals sine of 90 over 32. Yes.
Got me tangent, 'cause the 41.
That would make me wrong.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we don't make mistakes, remember? All right. If I were looking for y, you would be correct.
Yeah, it's one's supposed to be like.
Wait. Are you telling me now you're boldly saying I'm wrong? Shh, hold up. Sam is boldly telling me I'm wrong. Am I wrong, Sam? Well, now we're backtracking a little bit, huh? No, we don't. No, it's a simple question. Am I right or am I wrong? Thank you, as usual. Here we go.
Wait, is it 20?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. What is x, somebody?
I got 24.
And you agree, same answer regardless. Yep. Here we go. Angle B. Now, angle B, this would be referred to as the tangent, right? So we could say tangent of B is equal to 14 over 8. So B is equal to the inverse tangent of that, which is approximately somebody 60.55 degrees.
I did like the cosine for the side.
I'm sorry, that would be wrong.
I know, I got the same answer.
No.
Right, no.
Yeah. Mysteriously, all of your answers are done incorrectly, but they're all correct. You know, that's my logic too. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. It just works out for me that way.
I solved for cosine for like the other side, and then I did cosine again for the angle.
Thanks for the information. All right. Uh-oh.
How do you
Bo's
know-
got a problem.
How do you know how to do the inverse?
It's the tangent -1, cosine -1, sine -1 is all used when you're looking for an angle.
Okay.
All right, always use inverse sine, inverse cosine, inverse tangent when you're looking for an angle. All right, here we go. Angle B now. In this case, right triangle. So angle B is just cosine of B is equal to 25 over 30. Everybody good with that? Right? Simple. Right? That's before we did law of sine and law of cosine. Anytime your triangle is right, it's easier. All right, so somebody help me. B was roughly, thank you very much. All right, same principle here. We are looking for angle B. So again, this is cosine of B is equal to 7 over 39. So B was roughly 79.660, somebody said. All right. Happy days. Good job. 21. Here we go. Pat was flying a kite when the string broke and the kite fell to the ground. Pat is 36 yards lower than the kite. The distance from Pat to the kite is what in the world? What is the angle of elevation? So here's the kite, right? Being flown right here. All right. And again, we're assuming that it's a right triangle. All right. Pat was flying a kite when the string broke and the kite fell to the ground. Pat is 36 yards. And the distance.
It's opposite over hypotenuse. It's opposite.
Wait a minute. So if this, wait a minute, if this is Pat right here, Pat was flying a kite when the string broke and the kite fell to the ground. So Pat is 36 yards lower than the kite. Oh, I think what they're saying, lower meaning this. Yeah, that I'm not a big fan of that. All right. Well, wait a minute.
It could be like on a hill.
No solution, no solution, no solution.
Pat was flying a kite when the string broke and the kite fell to the
No
ground.
solution.
Pat is 36 yards lower than the kite, and the distance. Now, listen, if you said this, I would not care because I don't like the wording here. It could be here, right? But I'm not sure how many. You can measure based on the string, correct? So if you put 200, I wouldn't be mad if you put it there. But if it fell on the ground, then if it determines, just listen to what I'm saying. Here's your kite. If it fell on the ground, it fell right there. How is he what? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. All right. So the point is, I don't really care. All right. I care that you were able, how you perceived the problem is how you would write the trig. You with me on that? All right. So again, if you thought this 200 and the 36 went there, you would say that that is tangent of x is equal to 36 over 200. If you perceived that the 200 was here, then you could say that's the sine of x is equal to 36 over 200. I don't care. They're obviously different answers. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't want to spend time on a problem that is not written very well. All right? Everybody's agreeing, right? It doesn't matter. I don't care. Set it up. Show me your picture. All right, then I can see things. All right, here we go. Two cabins are observed by a ranger in a 600-foot tower. Oh, hey, this one is the hard one. So here we are. Here's a 60-foot tower. All right, so he's up here in his tower. This is 60 feet. All right. The angles of depression, so he notices a cabin over here, and he notices a cabin over here. And so he's looking down, right, at this cabin and looking down at this cabin. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Now, whenever they say angle of depression, I don't write angle of depression. I write angle of what? Elevation. So this guy right here is 11.6, and this right here would be what? 9.4. You agree? The top here, remember the angle of elevation is always going from the horizon. So this is the angle of depression. That is the most common mistake, right? So what is this angle right here? Somebody tell me what this angle is. What is it? 78.4. Thank you. And then the other angle would be what? Say it again. All right. Because these are both 90-degree angles, right? And we want to know how far apart these are, correct? So now I just need to find this distance right here, which is not a difficult task. This distance and this distance, right? So we can just look at that. It doesn't matter what angle you use, but I'm going to say that tangent of 11.6 is equal to 60 over x, and then tangent of 9.4 is equal to 60 over y. So x is equal to 60 divided by tangent of 11.6 plus y is equal to 60 divided by tangent of 9.4. How much? 292.297, something like that. So altogether, thank you. How much? 728. All right, that's kind of nice. All right. Somewhere around there. Anybody have any issues? Okay, let's keep going. 23. 2 swimmers are observed by a lifeguard in a 30-foot tower. Do we agree that's the same problem?
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to waste time. Everybody good on that? All right. Does anybody know? Well, what's the answer? Did anybody do it? 17.1. 17. Is that, I mean, I don't mind. Come on. That was pretty weak, guys. 17.1 feet. All right. 24. If a 20-foot ladder makes a 65-degree angle with the ground, how many feet up the wall? All right. So here we go. There's our 20-foot ladder. And we're assuming that the wall is at a 90-degree angle. So this is 65 degrees. This is 20. This is x. So now we have what? Thank you. Sine of 65 is equal to x over 20. So x equals 20 sine 65, which is roughly, tell me. All right. Let's get down to some of these SAT problems. All right, here we go. Number 32 was, like I said, these are taken right off the SAT and ACT. All right. Now, everybody should have looked at 32. This is what they give you on the test. They even give you the formula, right? So I don't know how you can go wrong with it. Right? So what goes on the outside of the equation? 10 goes on the outside. That's the trick to the problem. 10 goes on the outside. Does everybody agree? So it can't be C, D, or E. Right? So it's 10 squared equals x squared plus 14 squared. So it has to be what? Why are you saying B? It's this quantity in here are these two multiplied together. It is definitely A.
Yeah.
This is C squared. This is A. This is B. This is A and this is B. That's the formula, right? They threw you off because they put the variable in one of the missing sides, not the opposite side. All right. So now let's take a look at 33. Yes, we've done this one. I thought this was a good little problem to review. All right. So now remember, if this is a 30, 60, 90, this is 60, this is 60, this is 60. All right. So opposite the 30, oh, well, then we know this is 30, right? And then this is 60. So opposite the 30 is half. So this was 2.5. This is 2.5 radical 3. Does everybody agree with that? And it says, which best approximates the area of the tile before the piece was removed. All right. So this is 2.5. Now, does everybody understand that if now this is the 30, then this right here would be 5 radical 3. This right here is also 10. So this could be 5, and this could be 5 radical 3. So the whole length was 5 radical. And then this right here is 7.5. Yes, so this length right here is 7.5. This length right here is 5 radical 3. So you're multiplying 7.5 times 5 radical 3. All right. What? All right, so multiply that, and what does that come out to be? Yeah, there you have it. All right, here we go. 34. So is it cosine of A? No. Is it sine of A? That was easy. All right, over here in the figure, triangle ABC is similar. What is the value of cosine E? Cosine E would be the same as the cosine of what? B. Right. 12 over 13. Good work. All right, good work. 12 over 13. Because they're similar, the angles are the same. All right. So now we want the sine. So if I want the sine, I need the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is just the square root of a squared plus b squared. All right. And so now we want sine. So it is a over a squared plus b squared, square root. All right. Let's knock out 37. So this is 60 degrees. This is 30 degrees. So AB is obviously what? What? 5? Magic. Your calculator is magic. It always giving you the right answer. All right. Okay, now it sounds like some of you didn't quite get to the end of this. Go. Good job. 35. Let's take a look at 35 one more time. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say. That is sine. That's all right. No, that's good. Good information. All right. Yes, ma'am. Let's look at 30 real quick since we have some time. All right. When the sun's angle of elevation is 76 degrees, a tree tilted at an angle of 4 degrees from the vertical casts an 18-foot shadow on the ground. Find the length of the tree. Okay, so this one, the reason why it was tricky was because of this. Look, this makes this 86 degrees. Do you agree with this? Does that make sense? Right, and so then this angle right here, if I add 86 and 76 is 162. So that makes this 18, if I'm not mistaken. You with me on this? Right, so I want the tree, which I'm gonna call Y. You agree with me? So if that's Y, it's gonna be sine of 18 over 18 equals sine of 76 over Y.
Oh, the shadow.
How's that? Look. All right, again, setting them up is the hard part. I know you can plug the numbers in. Go. All right, let me find 31. Members of the soccer team are trying to map out some new plays before the next game. The goal is 24 feet wide. Yeah, I like this one. This is 24 feet wide. And she is standing 18 feet from one goal post and 21 feet from another. So she's not at the center, so we'll just do like this. So this is 18 and 21. Do you agree? What angle, what is the angle to make the shot on goal? So she can kick it at any of these angles and it would make the goal. Do you agree? Right, so again, this would just be 24 squared is equal to 18 squared plus 21 squared minus 2 times 18 times 21 times the cosine of the unknown angle. Agree with that? All right, it's amazing how in soccer, those guys figure out the angle at which they can kick so it scores, right? That's why they're so good, because they can do all those computations in their head.
It's 75.52.
No one's believing you today because you said you got all the right answers, doing it the wrong way.
He's actually right.
He's actually right? All right. Listen, I promise you guys, just make sure I would review any of the problems we didn't do and make sure you know how to do them. All right. The test is not that difficult because just plugging numbers into formulas. All right. What time's the bell ring? All right. So you guys, my homeschool peeps, hopefully that worked out for you. I'm going to stop it now and put the video up just in case you need it. Have a great rest of the day, guys.
Bye. Have a good day. Thank you.